Welcome to Temple Builders Carpentry. Temple Builders. We problem solvers. Temple Builders, safety first. Okay, Temple Builders, we talking about something that's very vital, okay? I had a video before that I made talking about when to paint pressure treated lumber. This video right here is talking about before you paint pressure treated lumber. So if you haven't seen when to paint pressure treated lumber, go watch that video, all right? Now today we talking about before you paint pressure treated lumber, okay? I got 5 steps right here that I want to talk about with y'all, okay? Before you paint your pressure treated lumber. However, I want to go over a little lesson, okay, about pressure treated lumber or just wood in general, how it basically swells and it shrinks, okay? So basically when wood is first felled or cut down, okay, it's basically green. That's what it's called, green, okay? So it has a high moisture content. If you look right here on this board right here, you can see these are my drawings. Don't laugh at them. These are my drawings of cells, okay? I draw this. This is a drawing of wood cells, okay? So when a tree has been first cut down, it has a high moisture content, all right? So if you look at this cell right here, in the middle right here, this is called free water, okay? That's the sap. All that is basically is sap, and that's 72% of your water, okay? So when this water evaporates, which is your free water, when it evaporates, the wood or your wood members tends not to even move, okay? It's not affected. It doesn't shrink or anything, okay? It doesn't shrink until you get to the bound water, okay? The bound water is 28% of the moisture content, okay? Now, when the bound water that is in the wood fiber starts to shrink, this is when you notice the wood basically shrinking. This is when you notice the wood shrinking. You can identify the wood is shrinking, okay? Since you understand that, okay, let's move on to these 5, basically, I call them laws, basically 5 laws that you have to do before you paint pressure treated lumber, okay? Let's go to the pre-prep stage, okay? We got the pre-prep stage. Now in the pre-prep stage, what you have to do, or else you're gonna be in trouble because, okay, this is what I need to say, okay? Basically, if you got dirt and mildew and grime and basically chemicals on the surface of your wood, the paint is not going to adhere good. It's not going to stick good, okay? So that's why you got to go through your pre-prep, okay? Your pre-prep is basically, I would get something like this, something simple, okay? This is basically what I use, all right? It's just some mildly aggressive dish detergent, okay? I will spread it on there. Also, I have a hose that I will spray my water on, and I would get something like this. This brush right here can cover, I know, 3 decking boards. Okay, so I'm getting surface area, and I will scrub it. Okay, I will scrub the deck. All right, I would do the same thing with the railings. These are just nylon. What I got right here are nylon bristle brushes. Okay, I would do the same thing, putting my mildly aggressive dish detergent on my railings, scrubbing them down. Okay, and I got a corner brush, some right here with an angle. You see how that point is on my brush? I can get in corners with this brush, okay? And I got a few more brushes that I ain't got right here that I use, all right? Now, if you don't want to use this, okay, if you don't want to use a simple dish detergent, okay, I brought another product that I use, and I'm not endorsed by these people or anything. It's just something I use. It's Simple Green, okay? And they got a dilution chart on here, okay? So depending on how dirty your deck is or how dirty your fence is, okay, I will go, if it's not too dirty, okay, I would go with a light cleaning, okay? He said up to a 1:30 ratio right there, okay? I wouldn't go past the general purpose, okay? If it gets too dirty, if it's real dirty, I go up to the general purpose, which is a 1:10 ratio. And all that means is for 1 cup of this solution or this chemical here, you're gonna put 10 cups of water, all right? If you don't want to use a simple dish detergent, okay? So that's your pre-prep, okay? That's very vital, okay? You got to clear all the dust, the grime, the mildew, and the chemicals off the surface of whatever you're getting ready to paint, okay? This is not only just applies to pressure treated lumber, but it also applies to non-treated lumber, okay? Now, after you're done the pre-prep, oh yeah, I want to also mention that I wouldn't use a pressure washer, okay? I wouldn't use a pressure washer because that's the reason I told y'all about this little lesson that I gave y'all about these cells, about free water and bound water. because if you use the pressure washer, you can push the water deeper down into the wood fibers, okay, which is going to take longer to dry out again, okay, because remember, you got to wait anyway, you got to wait a certain amount of time for pressure treated lumber to dry out, longer than untreated lumber. And if you ain't seen my video on when to paint pressure treated lumber, you need to watch that as well, okay? So I wouldn't use a pressure washer on a deck or a fence for the pre-prep stage, okay? Because the pressure washer can damage the wood fibers, right? And you can also put wood too deep down into the wood fibers that is going to take even longer amount of time to dry out again. And that goes to our second rule right here, which is your wait time. Okay, once you get through with the pre-prep, okay, you got a wait time. Okay, that wait time can be from 1 to 3 weeks. Okay, 1 to 3 weeks. All right, so if you're gonna do this consistently and you plan on doing these type jobs consistently, I would advise that you invest in a moisture tester. Okay, you need a moisture tester for you can test the wood. Okay, basically the wood needs to be up under 20%. Okay, now once you get through with the wait time, which is gonna be 1 to 3 weeks. Also, you got the sprinkle test. You can sprinkle a little water on the wood and see how well it absorbs the water. Okay, if it absorbs the water real quick, it should be ready. If it beads up, then it lets you know that it still got a high moisture content. Okay, so once you done identified that your pressure treated lumber is ready to go, is ready to paint, we're gonna move to the prep stage. The prep stage is you putting your primer down now. Okay, once you identify it's ready to go, it's dry, you put your primer down. And if you're gonna go through all this, I would suggest that you invest in a quality primer. Okay, maybe I do another video on the primers and paints that you could possibly get. Okay, but if you're gonna do all this, okay, you need to get a quality primer. Let's move on. Once you got your primer on and you got good coverage, okay, you got good coverage, you're gonna move to your base coat. That's your paint. Okay, you're gonna put your first base coat on. Okay, what color you want, that's up to you. Okay, and of course, once you finish the base coat, you move to the top coat. Okay, that's two coats of paint, 1 coat of primer. All right, so this is what you got to do. All right, and plus, like I wanted to explain that when you're putting that water on your pressure treated lumber, especially with if you want to do it with a pressure washer, which I advise not to, basically the cells, the wood fibers are like a sponge. So that's why you have to wait. You have to do a wait time, because you're putting water back on that wood and it's gonna swell up just like a sponge. Okay, and so you gotta go through that wait time and let it basically shrink again. Okay, and the water evaporate, get down to a sufficient moisture content, somewhere below 20%. All right, if you like this content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, become my apprentice, Temple Builders.